you struggle to speak fluent English? Do you know all the grammar rules, but still your English doesn't sound fluent? Do you get stuck while speaking English? If your answer to all of the above questions is yes, you have just clicked on the right video. In this English lesson series, I will teach you 50 smart English phrases for everyday English conversation. This is a 5-part English lesson series, and you are watching the first part in this series. Each lesson will cover 10 smart English phrases with example sentences for practice, so that you sound confident and fluent in English. I am Sara, a native English speaker, and my accent is the modified version of received pronunciation. That is the standard British accent. It would help you improve your pronunciation and listening skills. Sounds interesting? Let's get started. The first smart phrase I have for you is, you must learn to hold your tongue. You must learn to hold your tongue. This phrase could have multiple meanings. First, you should learn to remain silent. Second, you should learn to listen and not always talk. And third, avoid giving unnecessary information. You must learn to hold your tongue. Here are some example sentences. Once the customer has agreed to make the purchase, you must hold your tongue. Don't confuse them further. If you are into sales and marketing, this is the first rule they teach you while dealing with customers. Why don't you learn to hold your tongue and allow me to express my opinion? This might sound a bit rude, but sometimes you have to be direct and ask someone to shut up when they don't allow you to speak. But be careful while using it. Now it's your turn. I want you to practice using these smart phrases. Why don't you pause the video and write a sentence in the comments using these smart phrases? It would help you remember them faster. I would love to read your comments. Next up is, it's a far cry. What do you mean by, it's a far cry? An interesting phrase, isn't it? It simply means something is difficult to achieve. It could be a goal that looks difficult. It could also mean that success is far away. To vaccinate the entire world's population for coronavirus is a far cry. Don't you think vaccinating the entire world, that's 8 billion people, is a difficult goal? Even if we get a vaccine today, it's a far cry. Up next, this is awfully out of date. Something that is old and out of use is awfully out of date. I am sure it is simple to understand. Something that is not relevant today, or something that is too old to be used. Do you want me to use this computer? It's awfully out of date. No wonder why your phone isn't working. It's awfully out of date. Moving on, next up at number 4 is, you can be an agent of change. You can be an agent of change. This phrase is so motivating and encouraging. It means you can be a trendsetter, or you can change the system with your ideas. For example, don't be afraid to pitch your ideas. They are great. You could be the next agent of change. Apple is always considered an agent of change in the tech industry with their innovative product lineup. The next smart phrase is, you are in the cockpit. You are in the cockpit. Have you seen a plane's cockpit? Who is in charge of the cockpit? A pilot. This phrase means you are in charge of something, or you need to learn to control things. In short, you are the big boss. Isn't it a smart phrase? Let's look at some examples. With you in the cockpit, I assume we will succeed in this cutthroat market. Here, cutthroat means very competitive. I have taught you this word in the Stop Using Very lesson series. If you haven't watched it, there's a link in the description. I have taught you 50 advanced English words to use instead of very. So do watch it. It would help you improve your English vocabulary. Next up we have, don't dabble around here. Don't dabble around here. It means, do not mess around here, or do not fool around here. Or it could also mean, just don't be present casually, participate, or be helpful. For example, we are here to discuss a solution to our problems. Don't just dabble around here. Next on the list is, don't get tied up with old ideas. It's pretty simple to understand. Be ready and accept the change. Adopt a new way of thinking. Or it could mean, walk with the time. Interesting phrase, huh? I love using it all the time. If we have to succeed in business, we can't be tied up with old ideas. We need to invest in online marketing. Of course, as a business, you can't miss the online audience in this internet age. Here's the next one. I am prepared to meet you halfway. I am prepared to meet you halfway. This phrase is usually used in negotiations, and it means I am ready to make a compromise, or I am ready to make concessions for you. Let's understand it better with an example sentence. If you make the required changes to the product design, I am prepared to meet you halfway on the price. They settled the divorce argument by meeting each other halfway. Next up, I have, go meet them eyeball to eyeball. Seems like a super encouraging phrase. Of course it is. It means be brave and fight it out. Go and face the situation, no matter how difficult it is. Rather than covering up the mess, meet the boss eyeball to eyeball and admit your mistake. Last but not least, if you don't know the answer, duck it. If you don't know the answer, duck it. Have you been in such a situation where you had to avoid answering a question? This phrase could be used as an advice. It means if you don't know the answer, avoid answering the question. Here, to duck means to avoid something. Be careful with what you say at the press conference. If you don't want to answer, just duck it and move on. The actor ducked all the questions about her involvement with the co-actor. That's all for today. I hope you found all these phrases useful and try using them in your conversations to speak English fluently and confidently. Thanks for watching. I will see you soon with the next part with 10 more smart English phrases. Until then, as I always say, keep learning and keep practicing English. Bye!